The Mountain of Shadows. The palace was still covered in the smell of smoke. Servants cleared away the ashes from the royal archive while Queen Amina stood silently, staring at the blackened remains of the ancient scroll. "The truth is disappearing," she whispered. Mama F placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. "Not all of it." Amina turned. "The Shadow King knows the rest." Prince Kelechi stepped forward immediately. "Then it's a trap." "It has to be." Amina nodded. "I know. But if I stay here, he'll keep attacking innocent people. I have to face him." Before sunrise, Amina secretly left the palace with Prince Kelechi, Mama F, General Obiora, and 6 of the kingdom's finest guards. Their destination: the Mountain of Shadows. For 2 days they climbed through steep cliffs and narrow paths. The air grew colder. The trees became twisted. Then they reached a giant stone gate carved into the mountainside. Above it were ancient words. "Only the worthy may enter. The greedy shall never leave." As Amina stepped toward the gate, the ground shook. The massive doors slowly opened by themselves. Inside, the mountain was unlike anything they had imagined. Ancient halls stretched deep into the earth. Crystal lamps glowed without fire. Massive statues of kings and queens lined the walls. One statue caught Amina's attention. It looked exactly like her. She stared in amazement. "Mama e Figuisperth. That is Queen Amara, your mother." Amina slowly reached out and touched the statue. Hidden gears rumbled beneath the floor. Click, click, click. A secret chamber opened. Inside rested a silver box. On top was engraved one sentence: "For my daughter, if she survives." With trembling hands, Amina opened it. Inside lay a beautiful silver necklace and a letter. She unfolded the letter. It read, "My dearest Amina, if you are reading this, then I could not protect you. Remember this above all else. Your father loved his brother. He never wanted war. Someone else turned them against each other. Do not let hatred blind you. The true enemy smiles from behind both thrones." Amina's heart pounded. Someone else. Before anyone could speak, a slow clap echoed through the chamber. Clap, clap, clap. The Shadow King stepped out of the darkness. This time, he carried no weapon, only the black crown. "You finally found your mother's message." Prince Kelechi drew his sword. "Stay back." The Shadow King ignored him. He looked only at Amina. "Your mother was the last person who believed peace was possible." Amina held up the letter. "Who is the true enemy?" The Shadow King's face hardened. "Someone far more dangerous than Queen Adanna. He is hidden in plain sight for over 20 years. Before he could say another word, an arrow suddenly flew from the darkness. It struck the Shadow King in the shoulder. Another arrow followed. Then another. Masked assassins poured into the chamber from every direction. They wore neither the crest of the kingdom, nor the symbol of the Broken Lion clan. Instead, each wore a mask marked with a golden serpent. The assassins attacked everyone, Amina's guards and the Shadow King's warriors alike. "What is this?" Prince Kelechi shouted. The Shadow King pulled out the arrow and stared at its golden tip. His eyes widened. "The Serpent Order. They found us." A fierce battle erupted inside the ancient chamber. General Obiora fought bravely beside the Shadow King, realizing they faced a common enemy. Amina protected Mama F as arrows rained through the hall. Suddenly, the leader of the Serpent Order appeared on a high stone balcony. His face was hidden behind a golden mask. He laughed. "You fools. For 25 years, you've blamed each other. Exactly as we planned." Everyone froze. The masked leader raised his staff. "It was we who destroyed the royal family. It was we who started the war. And now, we will finish what we began." Before anyone could stop him, he pulled a hidden lever. The entire chamber began to collapse. Huge stones crashed from the ceiling. The floor split apart beneath Amina's feet. She screamed as she slipped toward a bottomless chasm. Prince Kelechi lunged for her, but someone else caught her hand first. It was the Shadow King. Their eyes met as the mountain shook around them. Amina must decide whether to trust the uncle she has always feared. Together, they may uncover the truth about the mysterious Serpent Order, the secret organization that has manipulated the kingdom for decades. But one of Amina's closest allies is about to reveal a shocking betrayal. The serpent's betrayal. The mountain shook violently. Massive rocks crashed from the ceiling. Queen Amina dangled over the bottomless chasm, held only by the strong grip of the Shadow King. "Hold on," he shouted. Prince Kelechi grabbed Amina's other arm. Together, they pulled her back onto solid ground just as the edge of the cliff crumbled into darkness. For a brief moment, the three stood side by side, not as enemies, but as survivors. The masked warriors of the Serpent Order continued their attack. General Obiora rallied the royal guards. Protect the queen. Steel clashed against steel as the battle echoed through the collapsing chamber. Mama F noticed an ancient stone door hidden behind a fallen pillar. This way, she cried. Everyone rushed through the doorway just before the chamber collapsed completely. The entrance was sealed by tons of rock. For the moment, they were safe. The hidden passage was lined with ancient murals. Amina raised a torch. The paintings showed the history of the kingdom. The first king receiving 2 crowns. The brothers, King Chinedu and Prince Aziel, standing together in peace. Then, a hooded man carrying a golden serpent staff whispered into their ears. The next mural showed the brothers turning their swords against one another. Mama F covered her mouth. It was true. The Serpent Order started the war. The Shadow King lowered his head. My brother and I were deceived. At the end of the passage stood a stone altar. Resting upon it was a crystal sphere. As Amina touched it, the chamber filled with light. A magical recording appeared. It was Queen Amina. She smiled sadly. My daughter, if you are seeing this, then the Serpent Order has revealed itself. They serve no kingdom. They seek only power. They murdered your father. They poisoned the minds of your uncle and Queen Adanna. They wanted the royal family to destroy itself. Tears rolled down Amina's face. Her mother continued. If peace is ever to return, the crown of light and the crown of shadows must stand together. The vision faded. Silence filled the chamber. The Shadow King closed his eyes. My brother tried to save me, and I never saw the truth. Suddenly, a loud explosion echoed from the tunnel behind them. The Serpent Order had broken through. Their golden-masked leader stepped forward, clapping slowly. How touching. You finally discovered the truth. But truth changes nothing. He removed his mask. Everyone gasped. It was Lord Nnamdi, the kingdom's quiet and respected High Chancellor. The man who had advised every ruler for more than 20 years. Prince Kelechi stared in disbelief. You've served the throne all your life. Lord Nnamdi laughed. I served only one master. The Serpent Order. I whispered lies into the ears of kings. I turned brother against brother. I helped Queen Adanna seize power. And now, I will end the last bloodline of the lion forever. He raised his golden staff. Hundreds of serpent warriors emerged from the darkness, surrounding Amina and her companions. The Shadow King slowly removed the black crown from his head. He looked at Amina. For years, I fought to claim your crown. I was wrong. He held the crown of shadows out to her. If we are to save this kingdom, we fight as one. Amina looked at the crown, then at the army surrounding them. She took a deep breath and reached for it. Just as her fingers touched the black crown, a blinding light burst from both crowns. The mountain trembled. A deep ancient voice echoed through the chamber. The two heirs have united. The final war begins. The ancient power of the twin crowns awakens for the first time in centuries. As Amina and the Shadow King join forces against Lord Nnamdi and the Serpent Order, a devastating sacrifice will change the fate of the kingdom forever. The awakening of the twin crowns. The blinding light from the 2 crowns filled every corner of the mountain. The earth shook. The ancient walls cracked. Even the warriors of the Serpent Order stepped back in fear. A deep voice echoed through the chamber once more. Only hearts free from greed may wield the twin crowns. The light slowly faded. Queen Amina stood holding the crown of light. Beside her stood the Shadow King, holding the crown of shadows. For the first time in 25 years, the twin crowns had accepted their rightful heirs. Lord Nnamdi's smile disappeared. So, the prophecy is true. He slammed his golden staff against the ground. Kill them. Hundreds of serpent warriors charged. Prince Kelechi led the royal guards into battle. Protect the queen. General Obiora fought like a lion, cutting through wave after wave of enemies. The Shadow King stood beside Amina. Stay close. She nodded. We end this together. The battle raged through the ancient halls. Steel rang against steel. Torches fell from the walls. Smoke filled the air. Suddenly, Lord Nnamdi raised a strange black crystal into the air. The crystal glowed with dark energy. No, the Shadow King shouted. He's awakening the Serpent Stone. Too late. The crystal exploded, with black smoke. The smoke wrapped itself around the fallen serpent warriors. One by one, they stood up again. Their eyes glowed bright gold. "They're alive again," one guard cried. Mama F shook her head. "No. They're no longer human." The army of shadow warriors marched toward Amina. She lifted the crown of light. A warm golden light burst from it, pushing the dark smoke backward. The undead warrior staggered. For the first time, they could be defeated. Prince Kelechi smiled. "The light weakens them." Deep inside the battle, General Obiora found himself face to face with Lord Nnamdi. The two clashed fiercely. Lord Nnamdi sneered. "You've always been loyal. What has that loyalty given you?" General Obiora answered without hesitation. "Honor." He struck Lord Nnamdi's staff, sending it flying. But before he could finish the fight, a poison dagger pierced his side. A hidden serpent assassin had attacked from behind. General Obiora fell to one knee. "General!" Amina screamed. Prince Kelechi rushed toward him, but dozens of enemies blocked the way. With his last strength, General Obiora stood. He grabbed a burning pillar that had cracked during the battle. With a mighty roar, he pushed it over. The massive pillar crashed across the tunnel, sealing off hundreds of serpent warriors. The explosion gave Amina and the others a chance to escape. As the dust settled, General Obiora remained trapped on the other side. He looked through the flames at Amina. His voice was calm. "Your Majesty, rule with mercy. That is the greatest victory." The chamber collapsed. The pillar buried him beneath tons of stone. Amina fell to her knees, tears streaming down her face. The kingdom had lost one of its greatest heroes. The survivors escaped through a hidden tunnel. Behind them, the ancient mountain continued to collapse. Outside, the first light of dawn broke across the sky. But there was no peace. In the distance, dark smoke rose from the capital. A frightened royal messenger galloped toward them. He could barely breathe. "Your Majesty, while you were gone, the Serpent Order attacked the palace." Amina's heart sank. "The palace?" The messenger nodded, tears in his eyes. "They've taken..." He struggled to finish. "Prince Kelechi's little sister, Princess Adaeze." Prince Kelechi froze. "What?" The messenger handed Amina a scroll sealed with a golden serpent. She opened it. Inside was a single message. "Bring us both crowns, or the princess dies at the next full moon." Far away, inside a hidden serpent fortress, Princess Adaeze slowly opened her eyes. Her hands were chained. She looked around the dark cell. The Prison of Serpents. A heavy silence filled the palace. General Obiora was gone. Princess Adaeze had been kidnapped, and the Serpent Order now demanded the impossible. Queen Amina stood before the twin crowns. "If I surrender these crowns, the kingdom will fall." Prince Kelechi clenched his fists. "If we do nothing, my sister dies." Mama F stepped forward. "The Serpent Order wants more than the crowns. They want to destroy hope. We must not let them." Far away, inside the Prison of Serpents, Princess Adaeze sat quietly in her iron cage. Across from her, Queen Adanna watched with a faint smile. "You must be wondering why I'm still alive." Adaeze nodded. "I thought they were your allies." Queen Adanna laughed bitterly. "I was never their ally. I was only their puppet. They promised me a throne. But puppets are always discarded." For the first time since her downfall, Queen Adanna felt genuine regret. "I should have listened when your mother warned me." At the Serpent Fortress, Lord Nnamdi entered the prison. He stopped before Queen Adanna's cage. "You've outlived your usefulness." Queen Adanna looked him straight in the eyes. "You still fear Amina?" Lord Nnamdi smiled. "I fear no one. I simply remove obstacles." He walked away, leaving the prisoners in darkness. But neither he nor his guards noticed a small key slipping from a guard's belt. It landed just within Queen Adanna's reach. She quietly covered it with her foot. Back at the palace, the Shadow King spread an ancient map across the council table. "The Prison of Serpents cannot be reached by the main road. There is an older path. A hidden tunnel beneath the River Azu." Prince Kelechi looked at him. "How do you know?" The Shadow King's face grew distant. "Because I helped build it. Before I learned who truly controlled the fortress." Amina saw the sorrow in her uncle's eyes. Years of anger had begun to give way to understanding. That night, a small rescue team slipped out of the palace. Queen Amina, Prince Kelechi, Mama Ife, the Shadow King, and 6 of the kingdom's bravest guards. They traveled under the cover of darkness until they reached the River Azu. Hidden behind a waterfall, they found the ancient tunnel. As they walked deeper underground, strange whispers echoed through the darkness. One guard shivered. It feels like someone is watching us. Mama if it whispered. We're not alone. Hours later, they reached a massive iron gate beneath the Serpent Fortress. The Shadow King pushed it open. It creaked loudly, too loudly. A bell suddenly rang above them. Clang, clang. The rescue team froze. Prince Kelechi whispered, "We've been discovered." Within seconds, dozens of serpent warriors poured into the tunnel. A fierce battle erupted. The guards held the narrow passage while Amina and the others rushed toward the prison cells. Inside the dungeon, Princess Adaeze heard the sound of swords clashing. "They've come for me." Queen Adanna smiled. "No. They've come for all of us." She reached beneath her foot and picked up the hidden key. With shaking hands, she unlocked her chains. Then, she unlocked Adeeze's cage. Adaeze stepped back in surprise. "Why are you helping me?" Queen Adanna lowered her head. "I've done enough evil for one lifetime. If I cannot undo it, perhaps I can stop one more innocent person from suffering." At that very moment, the prison doors burst open. Queen Amina and Prince Kelechi rushed inside. "Adaeze." The siblings embraced tightly. But before they could celebrate, a slow clap echoed through the prison. Lord Nnamdi emerged from the shadows. "You disappoint me, Adanna. You finally chose the side of good." Queen Adanna stepped in front of Adaeze. "I won't let you hurt another child." Lord Nnamdi raised his golden staff. A bolt of dark energy shot toward Adaeze. Without hesitation, Queen Adanna threw herself in front of the blast. The dark energy struck her squarely in the chest. She collapsed into Amina's arms. Tears filled Amina's eyes. "Why?" Queen Adanna smiled weakly. "Because a true queen protects her people." She placed a trembling hand over Amina's. "You are always the rightful queen." With those words, her hand fell still. Queen Adanna was gone. The dungeon fell silent. Even the Shadow King bowed his head in respect. Then the fortress shook violently. Lord Nnamdi laughed. "You escaped the prison, but none of you will escape the fortress." He pulled a hidden lever. Explosions echoed through the tunnels. The entire fortress began to collapse. Amina looked up in horror as the ceiling cracked open. Huge stones came crashing down. The fall of the Serpent Fortress will feature the kingdom's biggest battle yet, as Amina's group races to escape the collapsing fortress, while Lord Nnamdi unleashes the full power of the Serpent Stone. A shocking sacrifice will change the war forever.